Good evening, my dear friend. I can hardly contain my excitement as I sit down to share the events of this extraordinary day with you. Remember last week when I had the interview for the position at the Coastal Research Station? Well, I received a call yesterday inviting me for a follow-up meeting with the director, Dr. Elena Reeves herself. This meeting was to be the final step in the selection process, a chance to discuss my research proposals in depth and potentially secure a place on their team, studying our fragile marine ecosystems. Can you imagine my mix of elation and nerves? I spent all of last night preparing, reviewing my notes, and envisioning how the conversation might go. Little did I know that fate had something entirely unexpected in store, something no amount of preparation could have readied me for. The morning dawned misty and cool, not untypical for our northern coast in July. I woke up early to press my smartest shirt, determined to make the best impression possible, and set off for the station with a flutter of anticipation in my chest. As I approached the research station, perched atop wind-worn cliffs, I couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was my chance to immerse myself in the work I've dreamed of, studying our fragile coastal ecosystems. But as I neared the main building, I sensed something was amiss. The usual calm of a research facility was replaced by a flurry of activity. Staff members rushed about, their faces etched with worry. Before I could even introduce myself, I was swept into a scene of controlled chaos. The director, Dr. Elena Reeves, a tall woman with salt and pepper hair and piercing green eyes, approached me briskly. "You must be our candidate," she said, her voice tight with concern. "I'm afraid our meeting will have to wait. We have an emergency." She quickly explained that one of their research assistants, Max, had gone out early to collect samples from the tidal pools. He'd radioed in, reporting he was stranded, before they lost all communication. A rescue team was being assembled, but time was of the essence with the tide coming in. As the team prepared to leave, I overheard a snippet of Max's last transmission being replayed. "Surrounded by water now. Can't see the mainland through this fog. There's that odd rock formation, though. Looks like a stone harp. You know, the one with the..." The transmission cut off, leaving the room in tense silence. Team members huddled around maps, pointing to various locations and debating possibilities. "Could be the rocky outcrop near Smuggler's Cove," one suggested. "Or maybe he drifted further north towards the sea stacks," another countered. Dr. Reeves ran a hand through her hair, frustration evident. "We can't search every islet and rock formation along the coast. We need to narrow it down." As I listened to their discussions, something clicked in my mind. The Stone Harp. I knew I'd heard that description before. Memories flooded back. A childhood expedition with my father, clambering over slippery rocks, the mist parting to reveal. My heart leapt. "Excuse me," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "But I think I know where your assistant is stranded." Dr. Reeves looked at me skeptically, but gestured for me to continue. "There's a small islet about 2 miles north of here," I explained, moving towards the map. "It has a unique geological feature, a rock formation that locals call the Stone Harp. It's a series of columnar basalt formations that look like harp strings from certain angles. See, it's not even marked on this map, but it's right here." I pointed to a spot in the sea that looked empty on the chart. "The islet gets cut off during high tide," I continued. And with this fog, it would be easy to become disoriented and stranded there. The room fell silent as they absorbed this information. Dr. Reeves studied me intently. "How do you know this?" she asked, a mix of curiosity and hope in her voice. "I've been fascinated by our coast since childhood," I replied. "I've spent years exploring these shores, documenting the changing landscape. That islet is easy to overlook unless you know it's there." Dr. Reeves didn't hesitate. "You're coming with us," she said, already moving towards the door. "We'll take the boat." The next few minutes were a blur of activity as we boarded a small research vessel. The fog had thickened, reducing visibility to mere yards. The sea churned around us, the wind carrying the taste of salt and urgency. As we navigated through the murky waters, I guided the team based on my memory of the coastline. Every moment felt crucial. The rising tide, a constant reminder of the danger Max was in. "There!" I shouted finally, pointing to a dark shape emerging from the fog. The Stone Harp came into view, its basalt columns standing like silent sentinels against the grey sky. As we drew closer, we spotted a figure waving frantically from the rapidly shrinking patch of dry land. The relief on Max's face as he saw us approach was palpable. Getting him aboard was tricky. The waters around the islet were treacherous, filled with hidden rocks that could easily damage our boat. Using my knowledge of the local currents, I suggested an approach from the lee side of the islet, where the waters were slightly calmer. Dr. Reeves skillfully manoeuvred the boat into position, and 2 team members helped haul Max aboard. He was cold and shaken, but otherwise unharmed. As we turned back towards the mainland, the fog began to lift, revealing the beauty of the coastline I'd come to love. While we warmed ourselves back at the station, Dr. Reeves approached me, her earlier skepticism replaced with warm appreciation. "Quick thinking back there," she said. "Your knowledge of this coast is impressive. It's exactly the kind of expertise we need on our team." My heart soared at her words, but before I could respond, she continued with a smile. "I think we can consider this your job interview. How would you like to join us here at the station?" Now, as I sit in my cozy apartment, the day's excitement still thrumming through me, I can hardly believe how events unfolded. What started as a nerve-wracking interview turned into a real-life demonstration of why I'm passionate about this work. I'm reminded of what you once told me about how our past experiences shape our future in unexpected ways. All those years of exploring our coastline, which sometimes felt like mere indulgence, proved to be invaluable today. It's a powerful reminder that knowledge, no matter how obscure it might seem, has the potential to make a real difference. As I prepare for bed, my mind is awhirl with the possibilities that lie ahead. There's so much to learn, so much to discover about our precious coastal ecosystems. And now, I'll have the chance to do so as part of this incredible research team. I wish you could have seen the Stone Harp, my friend. Perhaps one day we can visit it together. Until then, I hope your own adventures are filled with unexpected discoveries and moments of clarity. Sweet dreams, and may your own unique knowledge guide you to new horizons, just as mine did today. Good night.